Hi, my name's Rasa, and you are watching Motherhood Reflections here on Legacy Faith Media. Today I'm going to talk about training toddlers. And I have 6 points. This is not an exhaustive list of things. These are just 6 really important things that I keep in mind as I'm training my toddlers. I'm just going to go through the list really quickly with my bullet points, and then we'll elaborate on them right after. So, number 1, we want to build a strong relationship with them. Number 2, we want to start establishing boundaries. Number 3, we want to correct them immediately, clearly, and calmly. Number 4, we want to follow through with our word. Number 5, we want to enjoy them. And number 6, we want to establish some routines with them. So let me start with number 1, relationships. This is really key because in my later points, when we start correcting them and laying those boundaries for them, we want them to first feel an attachment of trust and love with us. We're building that attachment with them, where they are seeking to please us. They enjoy us. They love when we smile at them, when we're spending time with them. They really value that relationship, that bond that you've built with them. So establishing that bond and that relationship is really, really important before anything else with that toddler. So this could be, simple things, singing to them, smiling at them, cuddling with them, reading to them. All these things require time. Sitting and playing a game with them, putting Legos together, talking to them, letting them be a part of what you're doing. If you're peeling potatoes in the kitchen, let them sit and play with the sack of potatoes next to you. If you're putting away dishes, let them take the silverware out and hand it to you. But you're letting them be a part of what you're doing, and you are a part of what they're doing. You're building that relationship with them. And you are letting them add value to the family by letting them be a part of the things that you're doing. They need to feel that sense of belonging. One big thing in building a relationship is you want them to get used to hearing your words of praise over them. When they do something well, when they do something good, you want them to be like addicted to that praise. Wow, you threw your diaper away. Good job. And when they put a toy away, wow, you put your toy away. Good job. Let's see if you could do another one. And just really getting them to enjoy pleasing you. And then number 2, you're going to move into boundary building. You're establishing boundaries of, this is acceptable behavior. This is not acceptable behavior. This we can touch. This we can't touch. This is owie. This is okay. This is your toy. This is mommy's thing. So a lot of times it's not necessarily right and wrong because they don't know, that it's not okay to, throw a vase on a floor necessarily, right? But we can establish a boundary. We can say, no, this is a special thing. We're not going to touch this, and we're not going to hold this. And so we're establishing those boundaries. We're letting them know. And boundaries make children feel safe. They need boundaries. But we can be positive. We can bet our life savings that our children are going to test those boundaries. They're going to break those boundaries. They are not going to keep them. We know this. And so that moves into my next point of correction. Once we've established a boundary, we need to make sure that we correct immediately, clearly, and calmly. We do not need to raise our voice. We just need to let them know, that's no. Okay, so I'm just going to give an example. Okay, I've got this pen right here. And let's say I have it sitting on the edge of a table. Okay, so this is sitting right here on the edge of the table. And my toddler is reaching for the pen. Okay, I am going to first set a boundary. And I'm going to say, no, we don't touch that pen. And you just point to it and you say, nope, we're not going to touch that pen. And they might try to touch it anyway. And so now, after we've set the boundary, now we're going to use correction. And we're going to, if they start to reach for it, we're going to use our finger and we're just going to tap their little hand and say, I said we're not going to touch the pen. No. Now, if I take this pen and I move it away from them out of their reach, they have not learned to obey mom, right? They've learned I can disobey until she moves it away. But if I leave the pen there, I need to be very calm and clear in what it is that I'm expecting. No, we're not going to touch the pen. So I just reminded them. Now they're pretty firm in their head. They probably know if they're at least 18 months, younger than that even, but they know that pen is no. If they go to reach for it again, okay, this is where we need to follow through with our word. This is point number 4. If I allow them to touch that pen because I don't feel like correcting them again, or I say, oh, it's okay, but only use it like this, or oh, all right, here, let me put the lid on it and then you can have it, I have not kept my word. They've learned mom's a liar and I don't need to listen to her. Or if I keep trying, she'll let me have the thing that she said no about originally. I need to keep my word. I don't move the pen away. I don't change the pen to make it better for them and then hand it to them. No means no, and I need to follow through with my word. This is really important because if I'm going to set any boundaries with my child or use any correction, I need to make sure that I follow through with my yeses and my nos so that my children know what to expect. If I don't follow through with my word, they will push the boundaries more. They will disobey more because they know that at some point mom has a breaking point. Not sure what it is, but it's coming at some point, and if I work hard enough, I'll get there. So it's really, really important, especially as they're a toddler. These are foundational years that you follow through with your word without using threats and without using bribes. Mom's yes means yes, and her no means no. So an example of what I would do with my toddler if she reached for that pen again and I said no, I have built my relationship with her enough that she really loves to please me. So if she started to take her hand away a little bit and I could tell in her mind she's contemplating whether or not she's going to do this again, as soon as she draws her hand back a little bit, I would praise her right away for it. I would say, oh, good job, you obeyed mommy. Thank you so much for not touching that pen. And she's so used to hearing my words of praise, she gets like proud of herself and she's like, oh yeah, I didn't touch it. And she's very happy about it. Use that as an opportunity to praise her for doing the right thing. And, you know, toddlers aren't perfect. They are going to test at some point, and she might decide, I'm going to go for the pen. And as soon as she touches that pen, I need to move in and let her know that was not okay. And so I don't, unless it's a dangerous object, I don't take that object out of my toddler's hand. I make sure that they hand it back to me because they need to follow through with my command. And if I told them don't touch the pen and they grab the pen and I grab it back, they still haven't obeyed. And the point is to get them to learn to obey. So I would have that toddler, I would hold them there and say, you need to give me that pen back. And my toddler, I have built such a relationship with trust with her that a little consequence that I'll give her is just a little tap on the behind. Diaper on and everything, just barely, like this. And she is very sensitive to that. She will hand whatever it is to me, and she'll start crying because she knows she's been corrected and disciplined and has displeased mama. And so she will hand it back to me. I'll make sure that she hands it back. And if sometimes she'll be stubborn. Sometimes she'll be like, and she'll still be holding on to it, not wanting to give it back. I need to follow through with my word. If I said give the pen back, she needs to give the pen back. And so I'll say, honey, mama said give the pen back. And if she's still holding on to it, stubborn-willed, I'll just pat that little bottom again, really gently, and we'll stand there all day and do this until she hands that pen back. And once she hands the pen back, I can move in with praise and say, thank you so much. You need to say sorry to mommy. And right now, this is the only sorry she can give me. But I'll help her rub her hand on her chest and I'll say, I forgive you. And we hug and I love her and then that's it. But I just wanted to kind of share with you how it would look with my toddler. So that leads me in to point number 5, which is enjoy them. Okay, there are going to be days when, like that little exchange, if I have to go back and forth and I have to stand there for like 5 minutes and get that child to hand me the pen, like I said, I don't need to turn it into World War III. It doesn't need to be me losing my temper and going crazy. I just need to let them know that I'm keeping my word and you need to obey mommy. But at the end of the day, sometimes we can get so stuck on uh, training and obedience and you better obey me that we forget to like just enjoy them. Just let them know, hey, I love you. Even if you're, throwing tantrums today, you're teething, you're cranky, maybe you didn't get a good night's sleep last night, you were sick, whatever it is, toddlers are going through so many different developmental changes and painful things that they can't speak about, like when their teeth and their molars are coming in. They're experiencing a lot of unpleasantness, and so they need to know at the end of the day, hey, I'm going through all this stuff, but mama enjoys me. If I have a kid that's having a really hard time in a day, they're gravitating towards things that they've been told are no, or are just doing things that I don't want to reward, I'll pick them up and hold them most of the day because I can tell that's what that child needs. They need mommy to just sing to them, have them with me, and that I love them and we'll color together. Sometimes I need to change my meal plan for the day. If I had like a gourmet dinner planned, I'll say maybe tomorrow, but this kid really needs me right now. I'll make grilled cheese sandwiches instead tonight. Whatever it is that that child needs, I need to make sure that I'm engaging them in a way that lets them know I love you, I'm pleased with you, I enjoy you, even though you're having a really cranky day. So don't forget to enjoy them. And then number 6, this one's really important too. We want to establish routines with them. Children, and especially toddlers and little ones, really thrive with routines. This one has been particularly challenging for me because I have older kids and younger kids. The older kids want to be out doing their activities. They have things that they have planned. They have things in the evenings and during nap times that they want to do. And I have to tell people, and even friends that invite me places, we can only move as fast as our youngest one can keep up with. And if that means that I have to say no to things to make sure that my little ones are getting their nap at the proper time, then we need to say no. Or if we can work out a carpooling schedule so that my little ones can get to bed at the right time each evening, whatever it is that can help them to keep those established routines, it really, really helps them and the rest of our family. If I'm not keeping those routines and my toddler's nap times are all off and they don't know what to expect in a particular day and we're just running here and running there, I've got a super cranky toddler on my hands. They're not going to receive my correction very well. It's going to make following through with my word even harder because I feel guilty that I've gotten them out of their routine and that they're this mess because I've not kept a good nap time for them. So then I'm going to be like, oh, well, it's my fault, and I'm not going to correct them as much, maybe. It sets me up for failure. So I've learned that it's really important to establish and keep those, especially sleep routines with little ones around because they just really need that. So I hope that these 6 points were helpful to you. These are just 6 things that have really helped me with toddler training over the years. And I'm just going to repeat them back to you really quick before I leave. Number 1, we want to establish a good relationship with our toddler before. Number 2, building and setting boundaries for them. Number 3, we want to correct them immediately, clearly, and calmly. And number 4, we want to follow through with our word. Number 5, we want to enjoy them. Number 6, we want to make sure that we're establishing routines and keeping them. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below and please subscribe to our channel. We would love to continue to encourage you here at Legacy Faith Media. as you seek to raise your children, keeping the future in mind. God bless, and we'll talk to you next week. Mwah!